When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is Ben Gordon with Power Swabs, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-291-5140. That's 1-800-291-5140.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. Woo! There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
603-835-9365 855-3224 is the toll-free number to call in. Hey, folks, you know, I have to apologize a little bit because I have a ton of stuff in my pile that I'm obviously not going to get to. So you're going to have to review it after the show on rodeccles.net. But I just felt that it was very important for us to start understanding and realizing historically, factually, accurately, what the real issue is here in this country right now. And it really isn't illegal immigration. It really isn't a lackluster economy. I know there are going to be people out there. What? Why are you crazy? Right? Yes, it's the economy. It's the economy, stupid. No. Understand that whatever issue that you think it might be, it's not that. It really is all about how our government runs itself and thus rules over us via socialistic fiat. That's the issue. You tackle that and get rid of even half the socialistic programs and ideals that are running our government today on the federal and even on some state levels. A lot of these other issues that we think are major issues will begin to take care of themselves, and there won't be much that we have to do to correct them. As a matter of fact, the whole notion that I've seen numbers, in order to deport all of these illegals, it's going to cost $300 to $400 billion. Well, the whole point is of the illegals is that they're putting pressure on this country that costs more than $400 billion annually. But if we changed our socialistic nature, in other words, if we actually went back to what a famous Democrat once said, asks not what your country can do for you, but ask instead what you can do for your country, which isn't a socialistic notion, it's a capitalistic notion and a full freedom notion. If we did that, it would not cost us anywhere near $300 or $400 billion to send back the illegals. They would go on their own. Not to mention, we wouldn't have this huge deficit. The debt would not be huge anymore. It wouldn't be huge on an annual basis, and we'd actually start to pay down some of that 18-plus trillion. Well, the estimates are by the time Obama leaves office, it'll be $20-plus trillion. And we'd be able to start eliminating and tackling some of that, $100 to $200 trillion in unfunded mandates. And it would be a boon to our economy. People would have jobs. They would have high-paying jobs, and we wouldn't be talking about raising the minimum wage from where it is to $15 an hour. It would be a moot point. Now, remember, back in the 80s and for a time under George W. Bush, the unemployment rate was so freaking low that there was no way you could have gotten across this notion that we need to raise a minimum wage, because everybody who wanted a job had one, and that there were still plenty of openings, and that people, if they got themselves into the right position and the right frame of mind, they could have gone after some of those higher paying jobs, and many people did. And when people move up the ladder, get better paying jobs and better jobs, and then save enough to move out and retire early. Look, that's another thing that there was a story that I saw a couple of weeks ago about retirement age being pushed further and further along and eliminating this notion that some people had of retiring early. But there were lots of people retiring early because their retirement accounts and what they were doing in their life and their savings were fat. They could afford to do that. That also opened up positions for other people, younger people. If we went back to a more capitalistic, smaller government, freedom style of government, constitutional government, we would have an economic boon in this country. And the illegal immigration issue would practically take care of itself and not cost the federal government, thus the taxpayer, very much at all to implement. That's the fact, folks. And there are, again, Dan McGrath, one of these days I'm going to have him on the show, but there are other issues out there that you really need to understand, fully understand, and how this economy actually works. Not just ours, but worldwide. Speaking of illegal immigration, going back to the paper pile, did you know that Jorge Ramos has a daughter, and that his daughter is of adult age? She's reached adulthood. And this daughter, now again, remember, Jorge said to Trump at that press conference that he was a journalist and had a right to be there and ask Donald questions and so forth. First of all, no, he doesn't have a right to ask Donald anything. He didn't wait his turn. But secondly, he was making a statement, not asking a question. Now you have to understand where this guy is coming from. He's a lefty. Did you know that his daughter works for the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign? Now, who right now is Hillary's biggest GOP threat? Well, her biggest GOP threat right now, according to the polls, is Donald Trump. So is Jorge Ramos interrupting anybody else's press conferences? No. He's interrupting the top threat to Hillary right now. But the problem is that Donald really isn't Hillary's top threat. Hillary's got 3 top threats that are bigger than the Donald. Now understand, this is true. The Donald in the GOP contingent is not Hillary's biggest threat. There are at least 3 threats much bigger than GOP contingent and Donald Trump, especially. They are Bernie Sanders, her email scandal, and Joe Biden. Now, if you look at some of the polls out there, some of the polls are showing that if it was a contest between Hillary and Donald, Donald would win. But now there's a poll out there today, or yesterday that I saw, that said if Biden was the candidate, that Trump would lose to Biden. Now, really? So if a poll is saying that Trump would beat Hillary but lose to Biden, who do you think the Democrats are going to start to turn to? Yeah, and the polls say that Trump would really devastate Bernie. But Bernie is beating Hillary. Again, polls, especially a poll here in New Hampshire, is showing that Bernie is pulling way ahead of Hillary in New Hampshire. That's not good for her. Plus, she's got this pressure from her emails and her email server. Well, the email gate thing is just hounding her to death. Rightfully so. But understand that this guy, Jorge, thinks that he's got the wrong notion. He thinks that Donald is Hillary's biggest threat, which is why he's trying to take on Donald. And Donald just put him in his place twice. Twice in one press conference. But it isn't about the illegal immigration thing. Not for the left. I mean, they're barking up the wrong tree because the mass majority of Americans want something done about illegal immigration. They want the flow to stop, and they want those who are here illegally sent home. They don't want amnesty. I happen to be one of those. But the vast poll after poll after poll, even liberal poll after liberal poll after liberal poll, shows that the vast majority, over 60% even on the most liberal polls, show that the American people want something